Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to our Automation Rocketship channel. I have my crew over here and we have brought a very exciting episode for all of us here to learn about the automation journey with UiPath. We are going to walk you through each of the resources that you would need to kickstart your journey. I am Pradeep Shukla and I have my crew members Andy Menon. Hi
Hello.
Andy and Priya. So
Hello.
Priya is going to take care of the walkthrough and she is going to tell us each of the steps that we need to get started. Over to you, Priya.
Thank you, Pradeep. I'm going to share my screen here. Okay. I hope you all can see my screen now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share the 4 easy steps on how to get started because most of us who are starting to learn like RPA using the UiPath tool have this question, where do I start? Because UiPath has this wide variety of resources available. And some people start like learning with the documentation and some people learn by the videos, they go through the YouTube. I think like the easiest way I would say is like first sign up your account with UiPath. Get the software downloaded. That way, once you have your account created, it's a single sign-on that you get access to the whole ocean of like UiPath's applications. So they have like Academy, Forum, Community, Marketplace, everything uses the same login. So all you need to do is go to this cloud.uipath.com and then sign up using this screen here. So you will end up with this sign up page. This is where you can use your Google, Microsoft, or your Office email account if they have that enterprise version. And with the enterprise, you can use the single sign on. If you're using this on like if you're a student or if you're learning like for your own benefit, I would say use your own personal account because that way you can keep your learning journey going further and further. And there's always like new products to learn. So always like keep up and sign up with your Google or your Microsoft. And then the next page that you would see is using your Automation Cloud, which will take you back to the portal where you will get access to all the different products that they have. All right, so when the Automation Cloud portal loads up, you will be able to download the studio. So the next step that we will see is like as soon as you have the Automation Cloud, you can download the software which is available right on the home screen here. Okay, so when you have the software, when you have signed up, this will be your default page. Okay, when you are like signing up, you will be prompted with a question for your organization name. And you can give like any name. Again, like if you're using it for your personal use, you could give like any name for your organization or your company. And in this case, like I gave it as like exploration. So I have like a default service here, which is my orchestrator service. So to download the software where I will be building the robots, I go here and use this download studio button. Okay, the moment we have that, the software gets downloaded to your local machine, and then you can connect your robot using this UiPath assistant, and then you can use the software, which is the Studio or the Studio X profile. So now that you have the software, you can like start learning, which is where we are going to talk about what are the 4 major pillars of UiPath's learning resources. So we have our best favorites here. So the first one is the Academy. The Academy is where you have like a series of courses which are defined by the role, or you can look up courses based on the products that you need. If you're starting for the first time, I would say start with the RPA Starter course, which is a pretty basic course that gives you the very basic information that you need to start with what is RPA and build your awareness about the product and in general about the technology itself. Okay, and then you can like navigate like using the roles that are provided. There are different learning plans which offer like, as you can see, with these learning plans comes like multiple courses in there. So as you complete them, like you can get to a more advanced level. And again, you're not alone. when you are learning a brand new technology, there's always going to be questions. And especially when I started, there was like a lot of questions. So, which is where like learning from the peers is very, very important, which is where the forums comes into picture. So if you go to forum.uipath.com, which is where you can ask your questions. So if you do have like any basic questions as you're building your first robot, you can always use the search here to find out like what others have faced. And again, like you're not alone in this journey. So the same kind of obstacles that you have faced, someone else might have also faced. So like, which is where like you can search on the forum for those information and look up your queries. And you
Right.
can also
And
like, if you cannot find your information, you can post new questions as well.
absolutely. And the beauty of forum is it's being supported by developers just like us, and they are available across the world. So even if you post at an odd hour, I'm sure you will get a response back within few hours. So even if you post something at night, you'll have your response back by the morning when you get up. So that's a
Yeah.
really great resource. You should definitely use that to your advantage.
And Priya also mentioned about the academy. One of the most confusing aspects for newcomers is to which path do they go? Do they go through a learning plan or do they go through an individual course? Right now, some people can figure that out immediately when they come to the academy. They can figure out what they want, so they sign up for a learning plan, which is a series of courses. But still there is some amount of questioning and confusion that happens to people when they first look at this vast array of choices that they have on academy. And the best way, I think, when you are in that mode of questioning, always think about what problem you're trying to solve, right? If you're trying to solve a problem um, in the area of email automation, then search the academy for the courses on email. And I'll tell you, you'll have first strike, because there is a course already on email automation, right? Or are you trying to process an Excel worksheet that you're processing manually every day, day in and day out?
Right.
And obviously there's Excel automation. Excel automation is one of the highly sought after RPS skills today.
Yeah.
And then if you put the two together, right, you can come up with you can come up with a plan all by yourself that you have learned Excel automation and email automation, and now you're on your way to actually take this knowledge and put it to use for your own in your own area of application or in your area of interest, right? So don't get too hung up on what should I learn first, or which developer plan should I go, or which business analyst plan I must go. Focus on the problem that you're trying to solve and start with that. And once you get through a couple of courses, you will automatically get an idea of where you must go next. So it's a slow
Exactly.
process, but nonetheless, you will find yourself growing pretty well by starting with just the basics.
Exactly.
Yeah. Start small and stay consistent.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So now that we've talked about like two of the major pillars here, the next two that we have are the community and the marketplace. So with the forum, like Pradeep mentioned, there's the forum users across the globe. So you have like lots of users and developers that are posting these questions, right? So the community comes into picture where you can find your local groups, or you can find like virtual events that are happening in your region or in your time zone, where you can find events and attend them and participate in them. Because like every learning happens that like you can learn by the book theoretically, but like when it comes to applying, you want to hear like how are other people applying it and learn from their best practices. Because like we don't come across every single problem in our own lives, so you also need to learn from others, which is where the events gives you the opportunity for you to find your local chapter, or you could become a part of the nearest chapter that you can find. And again, like you can find other events like the DevCon, the Hyperhack that are going on, and you can participate in any of those events. And like the best part of all of this whole academy, the forum, everything is for free. you know Learning for free and getting your certification, like getting all that knowledge for free, it's really hard these days. But I think which is what is like key for us to invest in ourselves and like learn all of this, so that like you can build your own robots and like have more knowledge and have your own personal assistant.
One thing I would add here before Priya, you move on to the
Mhm.
next platform. Even if this is what I have done myself and my personal experience, and I would suggest everyone to do it. So even let's say you find something that's really interesting to you, and let's say it's not in your time zone, or maybe it falls during your work hours,
Mhm.
do register, right? Because what happens if you have registered for it, even if you're not able to join that event in person at that point of time, but you would get a recorded session for that particular event that you can always go back and revisit. So that really helps. Even if you're not available right away, you can still have access to those resources to go back. So
So
don't think
true,
that just
truly.
because it's not happening in your time zone, or you cannot be awake at midnight to attend that particular session because it's happening in Europe, you are missing on it.
Yeah, so true. And I think like that's a very good point, because like I personally have attended, like signed up for events happening in like New Zealand or in Europe,
Mhm.
which is in like our midnight. And the next day in the morning, I go ahead and like watch the recording to catch up.
Yeah.
And to Priya's point about getting all of this knowledge for free, if people don't know already, in this day and age when new software or new platforms are released in the market, uh, they are they do not have a free plan, and they are paid. For example, there are other RPA vendors where you have to pay to use some parts of their functionality, right? And I think that that might not be the best option to to start learning, because one of the things with newcomers is when you have to pay for something that you don't know how you are going to be learning, that's a hard sell, right? So UiPath has invested considerably in the community effort, right? And that's what is the reason we are all here, holding all of these community, the forum, the academy, etc., together, and contributing back to these what you might call these
Community
infrastructures.
activities.
Yeah, the infrastructure that UiPath actually has created for us, right? We learn something from the forum, we learn something from academy, and here we are making videos like this, right? And we also contribute back to the forum by
Yeah.
posting tutorials and blogs and whatnot, right? So uh, think about that, because not every platform offers you everything for free, and even if it's free, it's highly constrained, it's highly restricted.
And Andy, you know what? Speaking of free, which brings us to the next resource that we have, which is the marketplace.
Yeah.
So every software comes with the marketplace, right? These days, like every software have their own like Google Store, App Store. Similarly, UiPath has their marketplace where you can download like components, like activity packs that are built by UiPath, and also enthusiasts like us who know like how to use like integrate with like other technology and build your own components. So we will have like future session diving into like each of these specific resources, showing you what are the tips and tricks and like how to navigate through each of them. One of the sessions will also be a deep dive into this marketplace, where Andy will walk you through like how to find components, how to find the starter packs, and how to implement them and how to build them. Similarly, we will also have another course regarding the academy on like what are the courses that you will need by your job function. That way, it's easier for you to pick it up and apply it for yourself. And the next section that we also have lined up is to teach you like how to look up in forums, which is like really easy. And please don't feel shy to ask any questions. And if you do have questions, please reach out to us on LinkedIn, or even you can find us on forums. And the
Or
other place
from
that
this
we are,
channel.
yeah, or even on this channel, comment on this channel so that like we can give more meaningful content, and like give us more feedback so that like we can improve and also like come up with more such meaningful session. If you like this video, please go ahead and like, subscribe, and share this video. Thank
Bye
you,
Absolutely. I
now.
guys.
think, yeah, absolutely. I think that, there are ways to go, and each of them is a universe in itself. But like we said earlier, get started small and baby steps, and you will be sprinting, right? So please do let us know what you would like to see on this channel. And also, like Priya said, please do like and subscribe. And thank you very much. And we'll talk to you soon.
See you in the next episode, everyone.
Yep.
Bye bye.
Bye
Until
now.
next time. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.